the voice in your ears and the face on your screen. I'm Perfect Purpose, and this is Pro Football Sweden, presented by Rare Athletics. As you can hear, I have lost my voice. Bear with me during this episode, people. Bear with me, and we will be all right. Okay? Today, joined by my co-hosts, Jalo Juice and Antoine Allen. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up, my guy, man? Sorry about your voice. We'll do most of the talking.
Thank you so much. Want to give a thanks to our partners at American Football in Finland, Improved Athletes, and Pro Football Sweden. The PFS podcast is available everywhere you listen to your podcast, and you can see us here visually on YouTube. Wherever you listen or watch, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Now let's get into some football. I mean, I feel like that interlude just does everything we need to as we get into the first quarter. Let's talk energy from last week's game. What was positive, what was negative. Juice, give us something.
Well, one positive I wanted to shout out number 52 for Limham Griffin. He had some swagger on the field, and he had some old line energy that I liked. He was physical, going downfield, blocking guys. I like that. Another thing that I like to shout out, I didn't finish the whole Örebro game, but I finally liked that it was able to establish the run. The negatives that I would come into is the referees, man. Oh my goodness, they were annoying me in this game. They can really ruin games in Sweden. They can ruin games for some people. Like, for example, there was a punt that was in the Carlstad game. The guy dropped the ball and picked it up, and the refs blew the play dead. If that's me, I'm taking punts for touchdowns. You call my punt dead because I dropped the ball? I'm gonna look at you with that dead eye.
I think he did the fair catch and then he muffed it though, right? Is that what happened?
Well, I didn't see a fair catch signal, but if he muffed
Even
it,
if he
it's
did,
a live ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if he did, I'm pretty sure he fair caught it, but then he muffed it, and then he started to run, but they called it dead. That's not correct if I remember football.
Yeah, I mean, and there was two sideline plays. I think in that same game, it was one where the quarterback was running. No, it wasn't the quarterback. Someone was running to the sideline, and the ref called a late hit, and the guy was trying to stop his momentum, and he fell to his knees, then touched the guy, and it's like, come on, like that was not incidental. Then there was another one where the guy was running just across the line. I guess a player need to have somewhat of awareness, and he hit the guy, but it's like he's still in bounds when he touched him. It's just one foot was out of bounds. It's like, come on, you let the whole sideline dictate if it's going to be like, oh, wow, late hit. You know what I mean? You got to be a ref. Put your balls down. That's all I got for my positive and negative.
Put your balls down. Antoine, what about you?
Some positives were that teams actually were able to establish their offenses. The offenses looked a lot better this week. There weren't that many turnovers. Positives for Örebro and Limham. You guys played good football games. It was just, you're going up against better teams. And when you happen to go up against better teams, you're just going to get beat. And they just simply got beat. But my negatives are for Limham and Örebro. Your DBs, I don't know. I don't know what you guys were doing this week, but yeah, you got to cover somebody. You got to cover something. You got to keep the receivers in front of you. You just got to do something. You can't get beat the way that these DBs got beat this week. So that's my negative.
But yeah, call it out. Number 16, he was getting torched. Like they had a field day. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was minimum 4 touchdowns, but I think it was 5. He allowed 5 touchdowns. I think it gets him 4 to 5.
Yeah, my man was playing on a different field. He wasn't in the same planet. I don't know where he was this game, but it wasn't here. He wasn't present because that's crazy.
He was on Planet Fly Zone. Head tap zone.
Head tap. Well, for me, I'll try to keep it short because my voice hurts. But the positives is that the teams that were supposed to win finally won. That was good. We got all our picks right. All the teams that were supposed to win won. That's a positive. Negatives. I got 2 negatives. I hate that I got more negatives than positives, but again, it is what it is. First negative, a little bit about what you said, the penalties. All the games, like it's tough to watch games when every other play there's a flag. And I don't care if it's the ref's fault or not. If you play clean football, that doesn't happen nearly as much. If the refs have to keep throwing flags, I mean the way that you're playing football isn't clean. Like you're giving them cause to throw flags and stuff like that. And it's just really annoying when I'm trying to watch a game and, you know, the ball goes here and then there's a flag. They have like a play and then there's a flag. And I like there's no momentum to the game. It really ruins the flow. And that's been happening every week. And it's still happened this week again. It really pissed me off. And even in like the Tyresö game, which is the last game that I watched, it didn't happen early, but then it started happening. Because I was making a mental note of game, they're not throwing a whole bunch of flags. And then eventually flags started flying. And then another negative is I'm talking to Tyresö with this one. Why have you change your jersey numbers? I don't know who nobody is out there. I can't tell you who nobody is. Edu, are you number 1, 8, number 3? I don't know. Jay Haywood, are you number 3, number 11? Kevin Borzay, you want to be 5, 2, 11? What jersey number you wear? Josh Hicks, now you're number 19. I think that's cool. I think that's the number you wanted. But everybody else, y'all stop changing jersey numbers out here, man. I can't keep up.
Yeah, preach. I feel that.
But yeah, that's it for me. All right, second quarter presented by Rare Athletics. We're talking about top performers brought to you by Rare Athletics, apparel and accessories made for players by players. More than just accessories, Rare provides custom jerseys for teams all over Europe. So head on over to the web shop at rare.se and upgrade your drip today. Now let's drop a couple names of guys who stood out to you this week. Antoine, you can start us off.
Olaf Nielsen for Limham Griffins, 14 receptions, 142 yards and a passing touchdown. Somebody became their quarterback's best friend this week, and that's a good thing. So he had a big game. I know we kind of been giving him a hard time, but I got to give it up to Slade Jarman. 403 passing yards, almost a perfect QB yard this week.
Hold on. Let me jump in. I know I don't have my voice, but I second that. It's a really good game by Garbage. Like he played great. Like I was really impressed. And I want to put it on record. I wish my voice wasn't so bad, but I want to put it on record that, you know, if he's able to continue playing like last game, I saw him make good throws. He made a lot of like deep out route throws that are hard, and he made them like look easy. But also shout out to Alvin Forsman because he made some really hell of a catches on those throws. But if he's able to do another game like this against the Mean Machines, I'm willing to retract my statement from the beginning of the season. I'm willing to do that. Not at this point because, again, still haven't really played nobody. But if he's able to do that against the Mean Machines, I will be convinced. But he is playing really well. Sorry, go ahead, Antoine.
Yeah, to your point, I was going to say it's unfortunate that he earned that nickname at the beginning of the season. But hey, man, since then he's played well. This is now another game with over 5 passing touchdowns, so another 6 passing touchdowns. That's big. And then my last one is Jared Haywood, 459 passing yards, 7 passing touchdowns. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm not going to say a lot of mine. I'm just going to say the names. I'm not going to say why, but Jared Haywood, that was one of the guys that I was like, oh gosh. Another guy that I think people might not have noticed, Sebastian Nielsen, defensive lineman. My boy was on one. But also Josh Hicks. Okay, look, I'm watching the game. Tyresö, Örebro, they're playing. Yep. Josh Hicks, I don't know how many touchdowns he had. He had to have at least 3 or 4, right? Like,
2, I think.
That boy nasty.
Only 2. All I know is
nasty and disrespectful.
In the third or fourth quarter, Josh Hicks catches a wide open pass because defense is, you know, boo-boo for Örebro secondary in this game. And he's running to the end zone, you know, taking it easy. And the defender tries to run after him anyways. And my boy puts a big face on the kid at the 1-yard line. Why? First of all, why are you chasing him? Just let him score. Second of all, why you have to do him like that, Josh? You ain't have to do that kid like that. Big
Yes,
face
he
the
did.
hell out of that kid at the 1 yard line. And I'll be 100% honest. I turned the TV off after that. I was like, I'm done. This is over. Like, this is ridiculous. They're playing
Yeah,
kids out there now.
yeah. Once I saw that, I screen recorded this into the group. I was like, disrespectful. This is just disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I like it though.
It
That's one of
was.
those disrespect, man. I'm cool with your head coach talk to you on the sideline. Why you had to do him like that? Good job, boy.
It was his,
That's
it was the
disrespectful
kid's
right there.
fault for doing it. The kid didn't have to do that. You could have just let the man score. You want to run up on him, that's what happened. You run up on a man, you can treat it like a man, and that's how he did it. And shout out to Josh for that, because that was a hell of a play. Another guy that I really thought played really good was Albin Forsman. Like I said before, he was making a lot of catches. A lot of what Garbage did well was throwing to Albin and putting the ball in tight spots. But Albin had to make those difficult catches. A lot of sideline catches, a lot of in-between traffic catches. He looked really good out there. I mean, I know Juice has said that he's a quarterback before, but damn, he's a hell of a receiver. And I think he had a great week this week. Go ahead, Juice. Who you got?
I bet I'm just going because I just got to listen by games. But number 2, I put Hard Eyes by his name for Carlstad. And I'm loving him on the field. He got some juice. Myron Norfleet, he did a decent job too. He did as best as he could. Matt, number 3 from Oslo, 25. DV from Oslo. I love the energy that number 25 had after making some good plays. For Limham Griffin, man, Nielsen. Oh my goodness, I like this guy. And I already said, shout out to number 52, Hustle Blocker. Good job by him. Örebro. I only watched the first 2 halves of the game. I don't know who did good later, but Trevor, man, I like that he had his emergency speed coming in there. The run game was doing a little bit better. And Johannes, got to keep feeding the ball to him. And Borsay, Eddie, Josh Hicks, man, that disrespectful play, I liked it. Jay, good job. Then also for Carlstad, I forgot to mention a few guys from Carlstad. Where you at? As you guys already mentioned, my favorite QB for Carlstad, Alvin Forsman, was doing his thing at receiver. Shout out to Krippe, doing his thing at receiver as well.
Hold on. Krippe played some cornerback too in this game. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I did see him line up, but number 5 went down for a play or 2,
Yeah.
and he came in.
He stood on the field. That's pretty much all he did, but still, that's something.
Oh yeah, also number 8 for Oslo. I think he did good running the ball some plays. And then you go number 8 for Carlstad, Young Kennedy. He did, he took the kickoff return for a touchdown. So
that's when you knew it was over.
Yeah. You just saw their heads on the sideline like, this really happening?
Yeah.
But I'm in right there. Shout out to all the guys who did well, and we didn't mention you guys. Let us know your stats if we miss you.
Yeah, it was a lot of good performances this weekend, though. Like we said, teams played how they were supposed to, but even the teams that lost played well this week. So it's overall a really good week of competition. But let's get on to the third quarter. Talk about this upcoming week. All right. Super Serien teams back at it this weekend. We got Stockholm Mean Machines versus Carlstad Crusaders, Örebro Black Knights versus the K-Town Predators, and Tyresö Royal Crowns versus AIK. Usually I say if you want a detailed preview of these games, but I'm not doing that this week. I have a really big schedule, so we're just going to talk about it here on the podcast and get into it.
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay, so the first matchup, we'll just go right into the first matchup. Keys to victory. Stockholm Mean Machines. They're coming off a CEFL loss. So, they don't do that very often. Antoine, what is some keys to victory for them to win in this matchup against Carlstad?
Their defense has to step up big time against a high offense like Carlstad has. They've been playing good football. I think we mentioned earlier in the year on one of the episodes that one of the weak points to Stockholm's defense might have been their defensive backs. I'm not sure if we said that about this team, but if we did, then that's definitely a point of emphasis for this week against Slade Jarman, and then the whole wide receiver crew over there in Carlstad, because they've been playing well. They're on a roll. Slade's on a roll. All the receivers are playing better, making difficult catches. Yeah, so that's definitely going to have to be a key to victory for them this week.
What about you, Alpha?
I think the main key to victory for both teams is whoever's going to be more physical, I believe, should win this game. Is the physicality. For Stockholm, we know what they can do at receiver. I think that they could have some challenges, but then if they utilize some plays where the DBs of Carlstad have bad with the eyes, I think that's going to be the easy money place for them. We've seen that a little bit this week where you can catch them off guard with that. Going to have to get to their linebackers O-line for Stockholm. I don't know how fast the O-line is, but we see that they play pretty decent to maneuver against the linebackers. So I think other than that, if Stockholm game plans this and plays Stockholm football, they have the chance to win this game.
For me, I think both teams are going to be pretty evenly matched, but it's going to come down to who can create turnovers. I think both offenses are going to be able to score, but I think the team that creates turnovers and gives their offense more opportunities to score is going to win in this game. I mean, I don't know who's going to do that on either side, but I think that's the key for both teams. I know we were doing Stockholm first, but that's the key I have for Stockholm for sure. What if we go to Crusaders, Antoine? Anything you think they need to do to win this game?
I think this week is going to be very important for them to try to establish the run game a little bit more. Young Kennedy he's going to have more than 8 or 9 carries. He's just simply going to have to, because I think a point of emphasis for them to win in this game is going to be trying to keep Stockholm's offense off the field for as long as possible and try to keep the ball, and establishing the run game early will help them definitely elongate drives and keep that Stockholm offense off the field.
All right, Juice, anything you want to add about Carlstad's chances to win?
I mean, I just think simple things is just being physical, spreading the ball like how they're doing, and their defense have to be disciplined. If your defense stay disciplined, I believe Carlstad win this game.
Again, I'm just going to reiterate what I said about the meme machines with Carlstad is that they have to create turnovers. The meme machines aren't known for having live turnovers. I can only remember that the quarterback threw 1 interception this season so far. That's about all I can remember turnover-wise from their offense. So they're not prone to having turnovers. And if Carlstad's able to create turnovers, it's going to put them in the driver's seat in this one. So we'll move on to the next game. Yeah, OBK versus K-Town. For OBK, what are some things you think they need to do for keys to victory? Juice, I'll let you go first.
I mean, I like that what I've seen from the first half that they was able to establish a run game. I like that even they had one play that could have been designed run play for Trevor Vasey. They're not going to expect that. Allow him to run the ball. Defensively for Örebro, I mean, they got to do something in the secondary. I don't think that the Carlstad Predators have all the best receivers in the world. Just like, let's keep it real. They need to circle number 2, and they need to stop him and stop their quarterback from running the ball. And they can do a good job winning this game. I'm not going to be too nice with it. Just stop number 2, stop the quarterback.
Yeah. What about you, Antoine? What do you think OBK needs to do to win this game?
Kind of like what Juice said. They did a great job offensively in the first half of the game. They utilized some of the quicker, short, intermediate throws. Vasey was able to run the ball, and he didn't drop back too many times where he was just running back and waiting for routes and stuff to develop. Once he felt the pressure, he got out of there and he was able to scramble the ball, and that was pretty much all of their run offense. So they're gonna have to utilize that again this week, I think. And they're going to have to do a better job of building off of good first halves, because they didn't score in the second half. I don't think they scored in the second half. So building off of that good first half that you had, and then keeping it going, keeping that momentum rolling into the second half, because you're going to have to be able to put up points in the third and fourth quarter to win this game for sure.
I'm just going to keep it very simple for OBK. Score more points than the other team. And I know that sounds simple. Like, obviously, that's how you win the game. But I think if they just keep scoring at the rate that they've been scoring pretty much all year, they'll be fine. I don't think K-Town has an offense that is capable of scoring the amount of points that OBK does. So just do your thing on offense. Put up 35 points at least. You'll be fine. Going to the other side of the ball, I mean, other team anyways, K-Town, Juice, what do you think they need to do so they can maybe get the upset in this one?
Like from Carlstad is that they came out hot in both first halves. The first half of the game and the second half of the game, they scored no 3-and-outs or anything like that. Those are good positive signs. They have the ability to control a game, but they just got to be consistent doing that throughout the whole game. So I think if they utilize their game planning, come with their strategy, I mean, they're a pretty decent football team. They at first I thought, they look like, nah, they're not going to be able to hang with most people. Like they can get the job done. They just got to believe in themselves, be consistent. I think so. I know I talked about hope, belief. You know what I mean? If they actually do this, they have a chance to be productive in the football game.
What about you, Antoine? What do you think for the Predators?
I'm gonna keep this very short and very simple. They have to be more disciplined, honestly. I think they have to limit the mental mistakes. Like Drew said, they have to be more consistent throughout the games and not have these moments of like these dips in performance throughout the game. That's all.
They're heavily penalized as well. They're one of those teams that has a lot of penalties that kind of limits what they can do. For me, I think for the Predators to really have a chance in this game, they have to score more points. We haven't seen them put up a ton of points on offense, and you're playing against Örebro. Their defense isn't going to be able to just stop them. So at some point, they're going to have to score. And it goes more into both what you guys say. To do that, the offense has to be more consistent. Myron Norfleet, he's a talent out there for him. He can make a lot of plays, make a lot of things happen. And so can Jacob, is it Stenberg? I can't remember his last name. But
Yeah,
number
that's
two.
the name, Stenberg. Yeah,
Stenberg, he's a great player. Him and Norfleet, if they connect, they have a great opportunity. But they have to do it consistently, like you said, Antoine. If they can be consistent offensively, I think they can put up points. If they put up points, they have a chance. I'm just gonna say a chance, but I do think if they put up points, they'll have a chance. But also, I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna be better than what we assume. Last game we got Tyresö Royal Crowns versus AIK. Let's talk about Tyresö. Antoine, you can lead this one off. What do you think Tyresö needs to do to win this one?
Go out there. Go out, step on the field. Be humble. Don't take things too lightly early and kind of put yourself in the hole. But go out there, ball out, have fun, play football. That's it.
Yeah. Juice, what about you?
Can I ask, where's the game going to be played? I know it's going to be in Stockholm, but is it home or away?
I think it's Tyresö's at home.
If it's an away game, just don't arrive late. If it's a home game, be humble.
It's in Tyresö.
All right, it's a home game. It's a home game. Just put on the show for your fans. Put on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe wear jerseys where we know who you are. That would be pretty cool.
Put your last names on the jersey. It's a professional league. Put your last name.
They switch jerseys so much that I don't think they're going to put their names on the back of jerseys.
I was watching the game, and I was like, man, I love Jared Haywood at quarterback. And then I kept watching the game. I was like, hold on. Is that even him? Like, I mean, I don't know him well enough to, like, know. And I was like, it's a pretty light-skinned person that got out there tossing that ball. So I wasn't sure. I finally got like a little bit of his face. I was like, okay, yeah, that is him. But I was just thinking the whole time, God damn it, why don't they wear the jerseys where I know who they are? But in this game, Tyresö, I would say, like everyone said, just play your ball. Don't let AIK do anything that surprises you. Just keep playing the way that you play. Let's flip to the other side. Let's go AIK, what they would have to do to win. And I'm going to start this one off because I want to say what they really need to do is get rid of these shirts that say AIK versus everybody. Like, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Like, first of all, you're not the one. Like, you're not Drake. It's not everybody against you. If anything, AIK is more like Metro Boomin. You lucky to be on the track, man. I mean, I seen the shirt AIK versus everybody. That don't make any sense. So I think get rid of that, whatever the hell that is. Get rid of that, and then you might have a chance to actually play good football and upset somebody. But outside of that, you know, that's probably the biggest thing they could do is get rid of whatever that is, and then they might have a chance in this game. Antoine, what about you? What do you think AIK could do in this one?
They need to definitely stick with Max Lambert at quarterback. He's more mobile than Victor is. They're going to need his mobility this week against Tyresö with that defensive line being as explosive and as quick as it is. And then pray, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say that their one victory this year was a fluke, but it's starting to look that way. And
who did they beat again?
They beat Limham after Limham upset Örebro.
Yeah, Limham played bad in that game too. Though.
Yeah.
A lot of like fumbles and turnovers.
Yeah, but we stick with one quarterback unless he's doing terrible to the point where you're like, okay, this isn't working. Just leave him in there. Leave one quarter. Actually, I don't even care which quarterback you decide to stick with. Leave one quarterback in there and let him play.
Let him cook.
Yeah, let him cook. That defense is going to have to step up big time this week. I don't know how you step up big time against what you got coming in. I don't know how you do it.
I would say, I just listening to what you're saying, like if you're going to have to play against Tyresö's defensive line, you might as well let the running quarterback stay in there because you're going to have to move a lot. You don't want the other guy really taking those type of hits because he'll be getting hit more often because they're going to be able to create pressure. That's not going to be a problem for them. Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened to Alpha, so I don't know if we want to continue or not because I already said my piece. Get rid of them damn shirts. Y'all be okay. AIK.
Yeah, I like the shirts. I like the idea, but y'all got to win some games in order. Y'all got to be, you know what I mean? You got to be cooking right now. The only teams that can wear those shirts right now, Carlstad, Stockholm, Tyresö.
So you telling me AIK ain't winning no games, but they out here with doing shirt designs. Maybe they should be watching more film instead of creating shirts.
AIK got the shirts. Oslo Vikings got the whole media team.
They got the reels on point.
You got all the other aspects, you know what I mean? And then I think what they're trying to do is I think they're trying to shift the culture, to shift the mindset, to get their players more motivated. When you don't bring in imports and you don't bring in help and you don't actively recruit even Swedish players and you just come back with pretty much the same teams that you had and you add Josh and then you add Victor, that's pretty much all the additions. So when you don't actively bring in help and you just put forward the same team who only won 2 games in Division 1 last year and you bring that up to the Super Series, this is what you're going to get. You're not. I don't know what they expected to accomplish this year or what the goal was.
I think they're going a little bit towards that whole fake it till you make it. Like they're just act like we're good, and then eventually we might become good. I mean, it's the power of thinking, you know.
Well,
it's all up here. It's all in the head. If you got to think that you're a winner, you will become a winner. The only problem is that's not how football works.
Yeah,
that is not it. That is not at all how football works. All right, Juice, you made it back. We filled a little time. Do you got anything for how AIK can win this game?
Now, this when I say hope and prayer and things like this, this is what I mean. To be honest, I think they just got to hope that Tyresö just make mistakes. That's all I can say, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Drip, grind, and stand out. That's the Improved Athletes way. Improved Athletes, a European sports brand based in Milano. If you want to look good and be successful in athletics, go and head over to improveathletes.com to stand out with your new drip.
All right, we're going to move into our 4th quarter. Picking winners of football games is not easy. It's very hard to do, but we're going to do our picks anyways. This portion of our show is brought to you by our partners at Improved Athletes. where you can grind, drip, and stand out. Our picks will be made available on Instagram at Pro Football Sweden, and hopefully we get them right on the first one instead of the second one. I know there was like a little April Fool's on my picks last week, so let's try to get that fixed this week. Definitely let us know how you feel about it in the comments. We don't need the DMs, we need the algorithm. So, write some comments. Even if you agree with the picks, put a little fire emoji or something, or 100%, work with us, people, work with us. So, getting into the first game, we got Stockholm Mean Machines versus Carlstad Crusaders. Antoine, I'll let you go first. Give us your pick and why.
I think that Stockholm is gonna come out on top. This for me is the game of the year. This game will tell me a lot about both teams going forward. I think Costa plays well. I just think that Stockholm is gonna just come out on top, and I think it's gonna be a close game.
Okay. What about you, Juice? Okay, so it looks like Alpha has little technical difficulties, but in this game, he was going to go for Carlstad Crusaders, and I also was going to pick Carlstad Crusaders, and so I guess my reason will be his reason as well. Well, it'll go for this, and I think it's got to be surprising that I'm picking Carlstad Crusaders because I've said, very publicly that Stockholm is a squad. But when I make these picks, I have to go off of the information that's available to me. And honestly, I haven't seen the Mean Machines really play anybody in a long time. and so it's hard to really just say, oh, well, they're the best team. And you gotta watch Carlstad and look at them. I mean, they're playing dominant defense and dominant offense. They're able to score however they want to. This last game was probably, in my opinion, the best game that they've had, like from an offensive standpoint, more than anything, even better than the perfect game that Garbage had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They have the best playing team right now. Like their players are playing at a high level and they're playing together in a sport that's really hard to get that chemistry going. Carlstad has the best chemistry right now. And I think it'll be close, but I'm leaning towards Carlstad. I feel like they're in that mode right now. Like they're the squad to beat. Can Stockholm beat them? In theory, but from what I see right now, they're the team to beat, and Stockholm has to beat them.
Since I'm the lone wolf out here, the only one picking Stockholm, I just don't think Costa beats them now. But I do get a feeling that even if Costa loses now, it's okay, because I do think that this will help their game plan. And then when they meet again in the championship game, should that happen, I think Costa will win then.
I'll throw this out there. They better not lose now, because whichever one of these teams lose now has to play Tyresö in the playoffs, and that's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
I don't think neither one of them want to see Tyresö in the playoffs, but that's a whole other thing. Moving on to the next game. What's the next game? OBK versus K-Town Predators. I think we're all got the same one for this one, but just tell us why you're going with OBK.
Örebro, they had 2 weeks off. They fixed some things on offense. I think this was his best game. Just from the way that he was able to move in the pocket and utilizing the short throws and not necessarily waiting for the deeper routes to develop. So I really just like what I saw on the offensive end, and then Sebastian Nielsen on the defensive end. I think he is going to be able to get to Myron Norfleet. Now, Myron Norfleet is a dual threat quarterback. He can use his feet and run. So I'm looking for the rest of the defensive line to kind of help out Sebastian when he does get that pressure. It's just simple for me. I just think they're better than Carlstad, and I think this is a very important game for both teams, because these are two teams who are both they both have one victory, so somebody's going to get a win. It's just who wants it more, honestly. But I do think Örebro is just simply the better team.
So, I mean, just looking at the standings right now, 3, 4, 5. The OBK is in 5th, and K-Town is in 6th. But they're both 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Just looking at, I mean, these are weird stats, but points per game, OBK 25.3.
Yeah.
Predators 18.3. and that's why I'm going with OBK. Because I don't think the Predators can score enough points. Their
Exactly.
offense hasn't showed that consistency enough to get the ball down the field multiple times.
Yeah.
They have a couple big plays that can score, but can they do it a lot? And I don't think they can. They can't score 4 times. That's what you need. That's what that 24 points. No, 4 times 7. Was that 28 points?
28, yeah, 28.
I guess 3 times, 21 plus it. But when you're playing against Örebro, you need at least 4 scores. And I don't think they can do that. I think
Yeah,
Örebro will get 4 scores. Trevor Vasey good for 302 tubs by himself.
yeah.
So
That,
that just makes it an easy pick. Oh, since we got a clean sweep on this, let's do scores. What do you think?
for this game,
Yeah.
I think it's 35 to. I do think the Predators scored 21 points, but I do think one of their touchdowns comes in like garbage time, like it did this past week against Oslo. So like they were able to put up 28 points, but it was like come on, it's garbage time. I think it'll be 35 to 21.
I'm going 34-18.
I like it. I like it.
Like weird numbers because you never know how that's gonna really shake
Yeah.
out. But but last game we have Tyresö Royal Crown versus AIK. I think again we got a clean sweep. We're all going with Tyresö, but explain why for you.
Oh, I don't need much explanation. It's very simple. TSO is up here, AIK down here.
Yeah,
So that separation. We've seen the way AIK looks against one of the top teams, Carlstad, and they lost 42-0. So this is now a team that's sitting in third, and I do think TSO's receivers are slightly faster than Carlstad's receivers. What I've noticed a lot this week from Josh Hicks that I like seeing, he's more agile and he's more shifty and he's more elusive than I thought, and you saw that a lot this past game. The way that the TSO Rail Crown's receivers were able to position their bodies to make some of these catches, I was just like, it just looks smooth and it's fluid.
Yeah.
And I don't think AIK can keep their DBs won't be able to keep all of their receivers in front of them to stop them from making the plays that they're going to make. Their receivers can catch the ball. Simple.
I'm excited to see how what the celebrations are like.
Yeah.
Because one thing that we don't say enough about TSO's receivers is, hey, those are swaggiest group in the league right there.
They got the most swag. One touchdown feels like 2 because of the way the celebrations hit.
So. I mean, you got guys, big face of people at the 1 yard line on their team. Like they out here for it. It's embarrassing. That's what it is. It's embarrassing. I also am going with TSO, and I mean, obviously it's AIK versus everybody. Let me throw this random stuff out here. I'm looking at the standings now. AIK is in 4th place.
Well, they only played 3 games.
Yeah, that's why they're 1-2 instead of being 1-3. They're about to be 1-3.
Yeah, they have the toughest road. I don't think they win any more games. I'm just gonna say right now, plain and simple, they're not winning any more games this year. They're gonna finish dead last.
Who did they beat?
Limham.
That was a fluke.
That was a fluke. I don't. They're not
winning. The Predators. They could have beat the Predators too. That was crazy.
Yeah. If they would have won that game, now they would be sitting at that crucial 2 wins that these teams are going to need to possibly make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to be doing the picks, but screw it. I'm gonna look at the standings, and you have a 5-0 team, a 4-0 team, a 3-1 team, and then everybody got 1 win.
1 win.
Yeah, 5 teams fighting for 3 spots, and they all got 1 win.
Yeah.
Look, this is very similar to what we said at the beginning of the season, is that it's going to be more of a fight for the bottom than the fight for the top.
Yeah, for sure.
There's more guys fighting for, 3, 4, and 5, or no, 4, 5, and 6 than there is the top 3 seeds.
I think that's what's going to make this interesting because the top is the top. We knew what the top was going to be. Carlstad is playing better than we projected at the beginning of the season, but we expected them to be in the top 3 for sure. Örebro is playing worse than what we kind of expected.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not playing worth. I think they're just playing. For me, they're playing at the level that I expected. I mean, they only won one game last year.
Well, I mean, like looking at the standings, you would expect them to be the only team that has 2 wins. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, looking at
yeah.
their schedule, if they were 2-3 right now, we wouldn't be worried.
Oh yeah, two
Or if
and
they were
two.
2-2, like 2-2 makes more sense. Sorry, but yeah, if they were 2-2 and they were in fourth place, we'd be like, this seems about right.
Yeah, yeah.
But with them taking that, I mean, they're just not getting any wins.
With them giving up that one win to Limham, which was very unexpected, I
Yeah,
think that's why we have the landscape that we have, because it's just like you let one of the new guys sneak in to win, and now you're gonna have a difficult path to the championship game. And it's not impossible, but it looks that way.
yeah. I guess I think I said why AIK isn't winning, but let's do scores. We didn't do scores. Tyresö versus AIK. What do you think score wise?
I think that Tyresö will mercy rule them, or like get the rolling clock going.
I don't think they do that though.
They do. Once it's 35-0, they do a rolling
Even,
clock.
even in the top league, they do that in Super Serien.
Yeah,
Well,
because we ain't got time to watch. We ain't got time to watch no 80-0 game.
I mean, that's new to me because in Finland we don't do that. Not
Yeah,
in the top league. Not in the top league, like the Maple League.
yeah.
We've had a 70 to, or actually, I think someone got beat like 80-0 a couple of years ago.
See, ain't nobody. I'm not watching it.
I am. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
If they hit 35-0 before halftime, then I think the score will be 52-0.
52-0.
Yeah. If they hit rolling clock in the third quarter, like any time in the third quarter was like 35-0, then I think the score will be 47-0.
I have no belief that AIK can score in this game.
I promise you I'll be proven right.
Wow. You said promise.
It's factual.
I mean, that's tough. I'm going to go opposite way and give them a little bit of respect. And I'm going to say score is something along the lines like 49-6.
Oh, so you're giving them like a one. They get lucky and score.
Yeah, it happens. It's football.
It does happen.
Sports. Yeah,
But I'm giving them the goose egg.
I mean, it is what it is. It'd be like that sometimes. All right, we'll get to the overtime. Hey there, sports fans. Are you interested in exciting sports of American football, flag football, or field hockey? Well, look no further because Sweet 3, the sweetest association for these sports, has got you covered. Sweet 3 is not just about games. They're about building a community, players of all ages and backgrounds coming together, supporting each other, and having an absolute blast on the field. Sweet 3 is proud to be an advocate for the Swedish sports movement where integrity and sportsmanship reign supreme. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, come join Sweet 3 and experience the magic of sports like never before. Visit the Sweet 3 website and get in on the action today. Sweet 3, where passion meets purpose. All right, that's it for this episode of Pro Football in Sweden. Anything we missed that needs to be discussed? Antoine, anything you want to throw into this overtime?
Actually, do I want to talk about this? Yeah, forget it. Let's talk about it.
Go ahead.
You heard that the Swedish American football podcast they stopped recording episodes.
Oh, I didn't know we were gonna go there with it, but okay, if that's what we're doing.
Okay. Well, because the reason I heard, apparently one of the guys was threatened, and I think
What do you mean threatened?
That's what I heard. That's what circulating around the streets, that he was threatened. If you guys are listening to our content, even other platforms, and you get your content from somewhere, just remember that what we say is simply what we're seeing, what the game film is translating to us as consumers of American football. But then also, like, you got to understand, like, we're taking our time. We're everybody has busy schedules. Everybody on our podcast, PFS, we're all fathers. We all have families. We play, coach, and we're very active in sports. So us taking this time to create this content for you, like, no matter what we say, no matter how you feel, there's an entertainment value in it, and it's just us simply sharing our point of views for what we're seeing in the sport. So don't dwindle somebody's light, because their numbers they were doing numbers on YouTube. They were getting used. They were getting views. They were very active. A lot of people were watching, and just to see them kind of have to take
That's
that.
good for the sport.
Yeah,
Like, this is all for the sport. If you like the sport, you don't need to do anything negative to
yeah,
diminish that. Like, that's one more outlet that people could have had to get interested into the sport, to maybe start watching it, and then there comes that exposure that could change somebody's life. There's people that, you know, football is a reason they're not committing suicide or not doing drugs or not
yeah,
doing something negative. Like, this is something that helps them, and them having a podcast, that could have been what was keeping somebody like going, like being
yeah.
able to listen to those guys each week. So if you go out there and threaten somebody, first of all, let me keep it 100 with you. Whoever did the threatening, I mean, come at me, bro, because I'm about that action. Like, perfect perverts don't give no F's. Like, I'm about it. Y'all can find me. I'm in Lahti, but I'll come to Sweden. I'll be out there. Where you want to see me? I'll go to Stockholm. I go to Malmo. Shoot, I'm trying to get to Carlstad if somebody want to help a brother out. But if there's some issues, let me know. Me personally, I don't. I try not to live in a world of like rumors and like what people are talking about. But in the small amount of time that we've been doing this podcast, I have learned so much information about how things are done in the football community in Sweden. I understand it. People talk, and there's a lot of exchange of information, ideas. I've had conversations with people about things that we've said on the podcast, and everyone seems to be very in tune with having their own opinions and
Yeah.
being very strong with their opinions. And I'm for that. But also at the same time, like you said, people are doing this out of their free time, help support the sport. And there's no need to get, nasty or ugly with people. Yeah, me personally, I'm not a fan of a little bit of the bully culture that I've noticed in Sweden
Oh,
around American football. I'm not a fan of that. But also, I'm from Texas. I know how to beat a bully. I mean, personally, I'm an action guy. And again, I say this to anybody that really wants that smoke. Like, I'm about it. Like, it's not something that I'm not concerned. Like, I'm not afraid, but I'm also not concerned
yeah,
because anything I say, I can back up. And if someone wants to, throw fisticuffs, I'm okay with that.
yeah.
Where
And
I'm
like,
from, you
yeah,
fight, you win or you lose, and then you go about your business.
yeah. Like I said, it's just a rumor. Like, nothing's been confirmed, but it's just a rumor that I heard. So even if it is not true, like you said, like, I've seen the culture here.
Think
And
about it. If it's not true, the fact that it could be true is an issue
yeah,
already.
yeah, the fact that it's even a rumor, that I received this information from somebody. So the fact that it's even floating around out there, that's even concerns for itself. But the second what you said, like, I'm about to smoke. Like, check my resume. Do a background check on me, and you'll find out. I ain't even gonna tell you what I'm about. My background speaks for itself. So if you want the smoke, get it.
There he is.
We in overtime right now.
We're in overtime.
Yeah. Sorry about my technical difficulties. I should have been more prepared. I'm unprofessional.
No, you're fine.
As Antoine was talking about, he's professional. Check his stats. But yeah, what we at in overtime at the moment?
We're talking about. I heard a rumor as to why the Swedish American football podcast, how they stopped recording, and I heard a rumor that it was because one of them were threatened.
Threatened.
Yeah,
About who?
I don't know.
That's
The
not
rumor that I
information
heard.
we have.
It's just a rumor that I heard. So we were addressing that.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
called out whoever I said that whoever threatened them, come at me, bro. I'm about that action. So
hey,
Antoine said he's down to throw fisticuffs as well. So it's whatever.
I said do a background check. My resume
man,
speaks for itself.
since they don't like Finland, they're not coming to bother me or Purvis at all. Like, are they in Finland? So they're not coming over there.
But I go to Sweden. Like I said, you can find me in Sweden. I'll be out there. I'll go to Sweden. I ain't afraid to go to Sweden. I'll be out there. If you see me, say something.
Well, I'm gonna let them know, man, about that life too, when I got to be. But I've been in Scandinavia long enough. You know what I mean? Accept me as how do you say if you Nordic, Scandinavian, Nordic? Yeah, I'm Nordic now, man. Like chill out. I'm Tadelund. Tadelund.
That's all I have for overtime. But pretty
Yeah,
much.
Juice, did you have anything you wanted to throw in overtime since you missed the picks?
Well, I'm gonna just say, as I always say, your film is your resume. Put good things on film, and we gonna applaud you. You put something garbage on film, like number 16 did for Limham Griffin. Man, I recorded the one guy. If you guys go back and listen to the last touchdown that number 16 gave up, the guy on the sideline, he needs to be coaching. Like, he was like, "Man, oh, that is horrible." I can't even reiterate the words that he said because it was foul, vulgar language, and I was dying laughing. That was complete dog wop blah blah blah. Don't put that on film because he's seeing it.
And that
But
it's loud
All
too,
right,
and
go
that's how
for
you
it.
know, like it was loud too. Like as spectators just sitting there watching the game, and then he's just like, "Yo, what the?" I was like, "All right, I hear you."
And he's going all in English. He's going all in
Yeah,
English.
he wanted somebody to hear that. He was like, "I'm
but
close."
Yeah.
how about a positive note? Last week Juice called out Eddie. How did your boy play this week?
Hey,
Oh, my boy Eddie with that release. And I'm not gonna say the guy name from Örebro, but he told me, he said, "Man, that boy Eddie is different." I was like, "Yeah, that's my bro right there. He knows." I mean, Eddie went off. He was release was crazy. You know, that's what I expect of him every week. I mean, I didn't know did he have 3 touchdowns?
two. So he had
Yeah,
7 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Oh, I messed up earlier. Josh Hicks, he actually had three touchdowns, not two. I
that's
said
right.
two. Yeah, he had
Yeah,
three.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then Kevin had 4 receptions, 113, 2 touchdowns.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
man. Shout out to
Two
them,
plus
man.
two plus three. They had seven. They had 7 touchdowns in the game.
Yeah, I said Jerry Haywood had 7 passing touchdowns, 459 yards, 7 passing touchdowns on 65% completion rate.
Damn, that's crazy.
Jay looking good, and I mean Double V. You know he couldn't get too busy, but his feet is just so quick, man. He's running the out route, almost falling down because his feet were so quick. He slowed down a little bit.
For me in overtime, I was gonna talk about the Nordic Lions and what we did this past weekend, but my voice is so bad. There's a lot that I wanted to say, so I'm gonna do it again next week. But
Okay.
this week, I just want to say we took a team, mostly Swedish kids, a few Norwegian, Denmark, and Finnish kids went with us as well, and we competed in the United States against an all-star team of Division One athletes. Like most of them have Division One offers. They're 4 and 5 stars. We took a shellacking, but the kids played very, very hard against the team, and now they're able to get that experience of what they need to do. Like they know the difference between a D1 athlete and how good they are in Europe. So I think it was a really cool experience with the kids. There's a lot of things that I liked about it. Um, I'm gonna go more into detail next time, but for right now, I just want to say if any of the kids are listening, proud of you guys. Glad you were able to come out and represent your country the way that you did, and really stand up group of guys. That's it for me, and I think that's it for the podcast. For I accidentally exited out of my exit script, so I guess we just gonna let this one ride. And like you said, we're watching the film. We'll be out here every week watching you guys, letting you know how our opinions, and we appreciate all the support we're getting online. We've been getting a lot of that lately, and we do want to make sure that if you're listening or watching, that you communicate with us, engage with us. We're a football community. We're here to help you guys understand what's going on, as well as have you guys help us understand what's going on. So, what is that when you do things with people?
Quid pro quo.
Quit pro quo. There we go. That's what it is. So good luck to all the teams this weekend. We'll be back next week as we are every week. There's no shutting us down. Sorry, there just ain't no shutting us down. I'm out here recording from wherever I can find a computer or internet, anyways. So we'll be out here next week. You can catch us out here every week for the rest of the season. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and follow us on all channels at Pro Football Sweden. We'll see you next week.